Alright, so here's my video trying to go over the review. I'm going to make it quick because I know most of y'all were able to, I was able to go through almost all the problems with y'all on the review. So I'm just going to go through these. You can see the answers. I'll go ahead and show them in like 5-second intervals. So here's the first set of answers. The next set, I'll talk about number 8 later. The next ones, again, trying to give you all like about 5 seconds, so if you need to pause, you pause. Making sense of this. And then finally, the last ones with the add or subtract. So you can kind of see all those and what you're expected to do here and kind of go from there. So now going back to this, let's remember things that you can put on your formula sheet. Don't forget about MatMan. And what does MatMan tell us? Again, when we multiply, this is multiplication right here, we add the exponents. Now all that's telling me, again, is that I need to say, well, don't forget there's an exponent of 1 on that t. 3 plus 1 gives me the 4. 5 plus 2 gives me the 7. But the big numbers, these bases, I need to still multiply. 9 times a negative 2 is negative 18. When we have parentheses, so that would be this, we're supposed to multiply. So what we mean by saying parentheses is that we have an exponent outside the parentheses that we need to multiply. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 4 is 12. And if you stick to those rules, this should be pretty much easy. So, kind of keep that in mind. There should be ones here. And again, big numbers multiply. The 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. Add the exponents because you're multiplying. So add the exponents. Here, don't forget there's a 1 on this one because I need to multiply that 5 to all exponents. So 5 times 1 is 5, 5 times 2 is 10, 5 times 3 is 15. This is the answer I would take. Multiple choice might have it rewritten as 1024, so you might have to go back and put in your calculator 4 to the 5th power. I honestly don't know, haven't finished writing the test yet. Okay, so how does MatMan help us here? Well, we should think that if I say when you multiply, you add, then you should be able to think opposite. When you divide, you subtract the exponents. So 7 minus 3 is 4. Divide the big numbers. 16 divided by 4 is 4. 3 minus a negative 1 gives me R4. And negative 5 minus 2 gives me a negative 7. So originally this one looked like 4R to the 4th t to the negative 7. But to make it positive, you move it to the bottom, and there you go. Keep in mind, anything to the 0 power is 1. So don't forget that. Notice all of this is to the 0 power, so you'll say that is equal to 1. And here, what you had to do was, again, multiply. So you had x squared, y squared. And on the bottom you have 4 cubed, x9, y cubed. And then you can subtract. And why did I say 2 times 2 is 2? I have no idea. Did I say 4? I hope I said 4 because I honestly, no clue. I think I'm a little bit more tired. I need a V8. Okay, so x4, y4. Because, well, why not? 2 times 2 is 4. I don't even know. Anyways, okay, so the 4 to the 3rd is going to stay on the bottom. So I'll come back to this. This is this final answer, but 4 to the 3rd. 4 minus 9 is x negative 5. 4 minus 3 is y 1. Okay, 4 to the 3rd is 64, so that's that. This negative 5 needs to move down to become positive, so there's that part of the answer. And the y was positive, so it stayed on top, and that's how I got my final answer. So, again, not anything overly difficult. On these, keep in mind that you need to be able to switch between the root from the radical form to the exponential form, or from the exponential form to the radical. I don't think there's anything too difficult about that. Here, make sure you have your powers chart. If you have a powers chart, that would help you immensely for this, because you could easily look up that 216 is 6 to the 3rd power and say, well, now this is equal, so I can say x equals 3. Or here, say that 4 to the x minus 2 is equal to 4 to the 4th power, and then say x minus 2 equals 4, add 2 to both sides to get x equals 6. Or even here, you could say 2 to the 2x plus 3 is equal to 2 to the 9th power, and then again solve and get saying 2x plus 3 equals 9, subtract 3 and then divide by 2 to get x equals 3. So again, nothing that should be overly difficult. Okay, the next one's, again, you need to determine if it's a polynomial or no. So remember, no dividing and no negative exponents. Okay, if you have either one of those, you don't have a polynomial. So again, once you say it's no, it's a no, that's it, you're done. But if you do say it's yes, you need to know how many terms. 1, 2, 3. Remember, terms are separated by pluses and minuses. So this is what is called a trinomial. 4 or more is a polynomial. 2 is a binomial. And if you only had 1, that would be a monomial. Okay. Then you need to put it in standard form. Standard form would say put it in order from highest exponent to lowest exponent. So you can see how all of these have highest exponent to lowest exponent. Once you do that, the leading coefficient is always the first number. And again, the degree would be that high exponent. That's pretty much that section. It's not very difficult. It's just a matter of making sure you put everything together. Alright, so finally, adding and subtracting. Again, you're combining like terms, so you're trying to line things up. So like you're saying here, 4a minus 5 plus 3a plus 6. If you're using the calculator, I would type in, like, say 4 plus 3 is 7a, negative 5 plus 6 is positive 1. So make sure you type it in correctly. Pluses are easy. Minuses, you just need to make sure that as you combine them, you put them in not only the correct order, but change the sign of everything in that second parenthesis. So 8x squared minus 4x minus 3. This negative 2 is going to become, because of this minus, positive 2x. Notice how I'm lining it up under the 4x. Negative x squared becomes plus 1x squared. And then plus 5 becomes minus 5. 8 plus 1 is 9. Negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2. Negative 3 minus 5 is negative 8. All of these work like that. It's, again, shouldn't be that difficult. And that's it for the test. Hopefully you've done well. You have paid attention. You've seen the video. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Thank you all for listening to this, and good luck. Take care.